Hello and welcome back to Simplimath. I'm Reshu, your maths teacher. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in mathematics, and here I'm helping you cover every concept, every example, every question from every exercise. So when you subscribe to the channel, you get access to all this knowledge, which will help you prepare for your exams better. In this video, we are covering question number 4 from exercise 3.1. So question 4 has 4 parts and it says which of the following pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent. If they are consistent, obtain the solution graphically. Alright, so let us begin. So let this be equation 1 and let this be equation 2. Now we know that the standard form of linear equations is of the form a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So let us convert this into standard form. So equation 1 can be written as x plus y minus 5 equal to 0 and equation 2 can be written as 2x plus 2y minus 10 equal to 0. Alright, now when we compare this to a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0, we can say that a1 is equal to 1, b1 is equal to 1, C1 is equal to minus 5. A2 equals to 2, B2 equals to 2 and C2 equals to minus 10. So A1 by A2 is equal to 1 by 2, B1 by B2 is equal to 1 by 2 and C1 by C2 is equals to minus 5 by minus 10, which is equal to 1 by 2. So I can say that A1 by A2 equals to B1 by B2 equal to C1 by C2. Now when does this happen? This happens when the pair of linear equation coincide, right? And we know that when the lines are coincident, they are consistent. Now the question says if they are consistent, obtain the solution graphically. So to obtain the solution, let us see how we have to proceed. Now for equation number 1, we can say if we find the points, when we put x equal to 0, we have y equal to 5, and when we put x equal to 5, we have y equal to 0, right? And for equation number 2, also if we put x equal to 0, we get y equal to 5, and when we put x equal to 5, we get y equal to 0, right? Now let us plot these points on the graph. Alright, so when x equal to 0, y equal to 5, that means it is this point, and when x equal to 5, y equal to 0, then this is going to be this point on the x-axis, right? And similarly, these are the same points for this equation 2. So now let us connect these 2 points. So the graph of the equation 1 and equation 2 is obtained by this blue line on the graph, and it is of the equation x plus y equals to 5 and 2x plus 2y equals to 10. Alright, now we know that both the lines are coincident, right? So we are asked find the solution graphically. So what would be the solution? Since the lines are coincident, there are infinitely many solutions. Why? Because this is also solution, this is also solution, this is also solution. Similarly, there are infinite number of points, so there are infinitely many solutions for coincident lines. Now in part 2, let this be equation 1 and let this be equation 2. Now we know that the standard form of the pair of linear equation is in this form. So the standard form of equation 1 and 2 can be written like this, right? Because we bring the constant term to the LHS, right? Now comparing this to a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and the second equation to a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0, we have a1 equals to 1, b1 equals to minus 1 and c1 equals to minus 8 and a2 equals to 3, B2 equals to minus 3 and C2 equals to minus 16. So A1 by A2 is equal to 1 by 3, B1 by B2 equals to minus 1 by minus 3 which is equals to 1 by 3, and C1 by C2 equals to minus 8 by minus 16 which is equals to 1 by 2. So we have A1 by A2 equal to B1 by B2 which is not equal to C1 by C2. And when does this happen? When the pair of linear equations are parallel, and they are parallel means they are inconsistent. So there is no solution. So we don't have to proceed to find the solution graphically because there is no solution. Now coming to the third part of the question. Now let this be equation 1, let this be equation 2. Now both the equations are in the standard form. Now comparing equation 1 to a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and equation 2 to a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0, I can say that a1 equals to 2, b1 equals to 1 and c1 equals to minus 6 and a2 equals to 4, b2 equal to minus 2 and c2 equals to minus 4. So a1 by a2 equals to 2 by 4 which is equals to 1 by 2. B1 by B2 equals to 1 by minus 2. So this is equals to minus 1 by 2, and C1 by C2 equals to minus 6 by minus 4 which is equals to 3 by 2, right? So we can say that A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So when does this happen? When the pair of linear equation intersect at one point, and they intersect at one point means they are consistent, and that means they have a solution. So the question says if they are consistent, obtain the solution graphically. So now let us proceed to finding the solution graphically. Alright, now this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now let us proceed with equation 1, right? So when x equals to 0, y equal to 6, when x equal to 3, y equal to 0, and when x equals to 2, y equals to 2, okay? And for equation 2, when x equal to 0, y equals to minus 2, when x equal to 1, y equals to 0, when x equal to 2, y equal to 2. Alright. So now let us plot these points on the graph. Okay. So when x equal to 0, y equals to 6. So it is going to be this point. When x equal to 3, y equal to 0. So it is this point. And when x equal to 2, y equals to 2. So it is this point. Now let us connect all the 3 points. So this is the graph of equation 1 which is 2x plus y minus 6 equal to 0. Now coming to equation 2, when x equal to 0, y equals to minus 2 which is this point. When x equal to 1, y equal to 0 which is this point. When x equal to 2, y equals to 2 which is this point. Now let us connect all the 3 points. So this is the graph of equation 2, that is 4x minus 2y minus 4 equal to 0. Now we know that the solution of the pair of linear equation is the point where the two lines intersect, which is 2 comma 2, right? So the solution of the pair of linear equation is 2 comma 2, right? And there is only one solution. Question. Now let us come to part 4 of the question. Let this be equation 1 and let this be equation 2. Now both of them are in the standard form. So comparing equation 1 to a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and comparing equation 2 to a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0, we can say that a1 equals to 2, b1 equals to minus 2 and c1 equals to minus 2. Similarly, A2 equals to 4, B2 equals to minus 4 and C2 equals to minus 5. So A1 by A2 equals to 2 by 4 which is equal to 1 by 2. B1 by B2 equals to minus 2 by minus 4 which is equals to 1 by 2. And C1 by C2 equals to minus 2 by minus 5 which is equals to 2 by 5. So we have A1 by A2 equals to B1 by B2 but not equal to C1 by C2. And when does this happen? When the pair of linear equations are parallel, and parallel means they are inconsistent. Inconsistent means there is no solution. So we cannot find any solution graphically to this pair of linear equation. So this is how you have to proceed with such questions. If you have any queries, leave them down in the comment section below. And if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and share the video with your friends.